am back from the trip and just settling back in. We've been home for about 3 days, but it feels good to get back into the routine. I went to Body Pump this morning, took a walk with my friend and Aria, and then dropped some hats off at the shop. It's surprising, they've actually been selling quite a few, even though it's summer, so I'm excited for that, but I cannot believe it's already almost September. There is so much to do, and I feel like September kind of marks that start of beanie season, and I really need to get cranking on my inventory. So the last few days I've kind of just spent catching up on like my inbox and, you know, planning my content out and whatever else, and just figuring out what my life looks like right now. But I think I really need to buckle in on my inventory goals and what I need to make, because it's gonna be here before we know it, and I don't know, I just can't even believe it. But welcome home, welcome back to the studio. Tired today for some reason, and I had all these things on my to-do list, including writing an email and writing a blog post about some of my knitting patterns, and my brain is just not having it. So I was like, you know what, I need to just knit anyway. And after dropping off beanies at the shop, I was like, I need to get on it with inventory. I have been slacking, and I've been putting all of my energy towards marketing my Iceland trip and just kind of enjoying my summer, but I think I really need to buckle down and start making. And it's funny because the first few days of this week, after getting back, I was really motivated with content and I felt like I was on such a roll. And then today I just felt so tired, and I kept opening Instagram to try to make a post. I even made like a draft, and then I was like, I just don't even know what I'm doing right now, and why am I on here again? But I think that's the whole thing with running a business, especially if you're a maker and you do a craft for your business. It's like you have those like really big brain strategy, marketing, whatever tasks that you need to do, and then you have your quiet hobby that you love and that you're doing, and so I think it's actually a nice balance. Like today was a knitting day, so I just let myself knit, and it felt really, really good. And I think it goes with everything in life, you know, it's always a balance. Like I love to travel, I love adventures and going on big hikes and camping trips and social things and whatever. But then I equally love being at home, being cozy at my desk or on the couch, reading a book, knitting. So I think it's just all a balance. Like if you have too much of any one thing, you just get off balance and you don't feel great. But if you're intentional about finding that balance or recognizing when you need to balance something out, then I just think you're better for it. And it actually creates a more sustainable business and lifestyle or whatever. So just some thoughts from my all over the place brain. But okay, let me show you. So this was the beanie that I made when we were in Scotland, and this is the second version. So earlier I just undid the first draft because the changes I made while we were gone I like a lot more. I made notes in my little field notes book about what I wanted to change for version 3, so I'm gonna just work on that right now. But I'm excited about this, and if you didn't know, I sell my knitting patterns basically geared towards other knitters who sell their product. So all of the designs I create are the ones that I sell myself in my shop, but a lot of other knitters actually prefer to just knit something that's been tested and, you know, knows that it works. So I just happen to do a little bit of both. I do my own designing and then I sell the patterns too, but let me show you how it looks. Excuse my messy hair. But this is this beanie, and I think it's funny, I was talking to someone earlier about how the trends right now are like no palm and kind of the cuffed brim, more fitted style. I like having a little space up top, so I like the fit of this, but I think it's a little bit imbalanced with where the the design on the bottom and the top go. So I think what I need to do is take some of these rows out and shorten this part a little bit, but we'll see. But I love this hat. I actually don't usually wear a pom-pom on my beanies myself, but they photograph really well and people seem to love them. But this will just be another style offering, and fall is gonna be here before we know it. And we've been having a lot of rainy days this week and it's cooled off a lot. So I'm feeling very in the cozy fall vibe. And I know there's still plenty of summer left, but fall is coming. So we need to be ready. I am running late, so I'm just checking in, but I'm downtown and meeting up with my friend Gretchen. I actually met her on Instagram many years ago, but she's also a knitter. She's a professional photographer and, you know, is an adventure, outdoorsy explorer friend. So it's really cool that we've gotten to connect so many times. We actually did a trip together to visit our other friend in Maine last year. Anyway, this week has been such a blur. Sorry I haven't even caught up with you about the trip, but we'll get to that. Yay!
So excited.
Oh wait, it's tonight. Yeah, but well, for me actually, one of the biggest things came from the whole Iceland trip thing. What is this day? What is this week? I still haven't settled in after getting back from my trip, and it's still summer, so I feel like there's still so much going on. My friend's in town, there's like a free concert tonight, so I don't know, I think it's just a reminder too, like you can go on vacation, and when you get back, it doesn't mean that you have to just go pedal to the metal and catch up. That is why you've built your business, so that you can leave on vacation and come back and also live your normal life and not feel like you have to do extra work or whatever. It's funny because I actually posted a thread about this. I forget if I mentioned it on the vlog, but yesterday I was just feeling super exhausted and tired and like emotionally drained. I've been going to therapy for some childhood stuff and it was a really tough session. So I just needed the day to rest, I guess, and I made a little thread about it, and this lady basically responded with, because you work all of your nights and weekends too. And it just really made me feel angry because I was like, no, the whole point of starting this business, and yes, there will be days where you have to grind and work really hard and weeks and seasons and whatever, but the whole goal, at least for me, is to set it up so that I'm not doing that, that I can take time off, that I can go on a trip and then get back and just ease back in and not feel guilty about it. So obviously that's still a work in progress. I'm trying to let go of feeling bad for not being more productive, but I feel like I've actually been pretty good about setting up that boundary for myself this year. That's kind of what this year has been about for me, and this transition and pivot. But I just thought I'd share that with you, and I hope that makes you feel less alone, or that, you know, you have a friend on this journey, because there are going to be haters out there, and there is this narrative about quitting your 9 to 5 so you can work 24/7 or whatever, but I feel like it doesn't have to be that way. Good morning. It is Monday. Tonight's the full moon, so it just also feels like that seasonal time for a refresh and to really just reflect on things. And I did some journaling and tarot pulls this morning. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to catch up on. I've been working on a lot of new things. I actually finished writing up the Winterlight beanie pattern. I think that's what I'm going to call it. But this is it right here. Kind of plays off of my Winterfell beanie, which is my most popular design and most popular pattern, but I wanted to do a lighter weight version, and I actually did this in my Instagram stories, a poll about this style, like leaving it like this with no pom-pom and the folded brim. And it's so funny because in the past everyone's like, we prefer pom-poms, but for the first time in my polls, people were like, we are digging this vibe, like a no pom folded brim style. And one of the other beanie styles that I've been selling all summer at Ohana is also a similar type of thing, folded brim, mid-weight, no pom. And so I think that's just kind of the style right now, and it's definitely the style that I love to wear, so I'm kind of excited about that. Number 2 is that sweater I was knitting all trip. I finished the sweater, and so this week what I need to do is actually sew up all of the ends. Oh, look at how it turned out, and this cozy folded turtleneck. So what I need to do, I still need to sew the armpits together and then weave in all of the ends, and then block it. And blocking is basically soaking it in water and then laying it flat to dry, and that helps with evening out the stitches and softening the yarn a little bit. Whenever you knit with multiple colors, it tends to pucker like this, and that's just naturally what happens. So by blocking it, you kind of relax the stitches and even everything out, so then it'll be ready to wear. And I am so excited. Like, this is only the second sweater I've ever made, and this one I think is just so special because it'll always be a sweater that I remember that I made in Belgium and Scotland, and it'll just remind me of the trip. And a second part of it is that I'm really excited to wear it for the Iceland trip that I'm hosting, and it has that Nordic vibe, so I'm so excited to wear it there. So I needed to do a quick cleanup of my office. I have yarn all over the place. Oh, I didn't even show you the yarn that I bought while I was gone. I am not a huge shopper when I travel. Usually I don't even buy anything. If anything, I get like a postcard or something that I know I'll use. But in Scotland, so I didn't even buy anything in Belgium, but in Scotland we went to a woolery, which was really cool. You can see it in my last vlog. And I bought a couple of skeins of yarn. So this is like Scottish Highland wool, so I'm really excited about that. I don't even know if I'll make anything of it, but it's just like a collection piece. Maybe I will make something. And then when we were in Edinburgh, I found this really cute shop, and they had a ton of just wool goods. So I bought this color. I mean, this color is incredible. And then I just bought this little keychain. Focus, will it? Yeah, so those are all the things I bought when I was there. Of course, all yarny pieces, but okay, let's clean up a little bit. What this little noise is, and look, there's a little hummingbird outside of my window. I don't know if I've ever seen them at my place before. I just finished day 1 of the Brand Voice Roundup course, and it is so good. It is so chewy, and it just makes me think so much about my brand and where I am, especially like in this transition phase, and who I want to help, and what this space means, and like what this new community, or what the community that I'm trying to build is. So I don't know, one of the questions was about how I want my people to feel, how I want my community to feel when they interact with me. And I think a lot of that is I want you to feel inspired, empowered, ready to take action, and like you're in alignment with yourself, who you are, and what you want your life to look like. Tell me if that's how you feel about these videos or my Instagram if you follow me over there, because that's truly something that I want to inspire others to do. Is whatever your dream life looks like to you, I want you to feel empowered to pursue that and to do it. Because I think for a lot of people, they're afraid to take the first step. They think they have to have all these things lined up, or all, they're gonna do it when this happens, or they're gonna reach this milestone before this happens. And the reality is, these are unmarked trails that we're on, and we are in control of how we walk this path. I say unmarked trail because there is still some mindfulness that needs to go into it. We can't just go bushwhack around and step on all of these things. But at the same time, you're not going to go further on the path or discover new things until you start on the journey. So anyway, lots to think about, but it's been quite the brain day. I've been doing admin computer stuff all day, but I think I need to just have a little sit and a knit, maybe take Arya out for a minute, and then get back to it. Morning. It's kind of a weird week. I feel like I've been pulled in a bunch of different directions this week too, so I didn't even film yesterday. I feel like I just needed to zero in and focus in on a couple of the things I really needed to get done. I feel like I've been behind on my video editing actually, so I spent a lot of the day doing that yesterday. I think now that it's almost September, I'm feeling a lot of pressure to get back on my inventory because it's coming and I need to have stuff prepared. But then there's all these background things that I've been working on for Sweeney that I'm excited about, but beanie season is also coming. So I actually need to make things. It's just that time of year where things are starting to collide. I've had a hard time getting back into routine this week, and I feel like I should be by now because I've been home for almost 2 weeks now. But I think it's okay. It's just the way it is, and I need to let go of that. And today's kind of a gloomy day, so it might just be like a cozy make day, which I kind of need.
Blue dew, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it?
It's funny because I feel like I need a lot more alone and still time nowadays. I've become more of an ambivert, and so I don't know, this week I've been having a lot of one-on-one quiet walks with friends and really good conversations and stuff like that. And when I find that my brain feels frazzled, or if I'm feeling like I'm off balance, for me, I think that's why I love knitting so much. It's a way for me to just come back to myself, sit in my thoughts, or just sit in quiet. I just give myself a little bit of time to just sit and knit and maybe catch up on a vlog or listen to a podcast. But just being mindful of that, trying to rebalance and things like that. And I think it's just, as we all know, we just need to do that for ourselves and listen to that. And it's important. Sometimes you need rest. Sometimes you need to check things off your to-do list. It's really just knowing when you need to be doing what for yourself. And it could vary from day to day or moment to moment, week to week, season to season. But it's just recognizing that and doing it for yourself. I just finished the floors and setting it all back up. My busy season's about to.
Blue dew,
You guys, seriously, I went from being so tired to now being so energized, and it's so funny, like, every single time I go on these group calls, and maybe it's the types of people that are I can't even talk. Maybe it's the types of people that are in these chats, but it's like, I think I'm becoming, like I was talking about, more of an ambivert. So if I connect with the people, if I vibe with the people, if what we're talking about is aligned with my vibe, I get super energized. And if it's not, I kind of just walk away, or like I clam up, or I just don't put energy towards it. And once again, the power of connection. Like, I went from feeling so tired this morning and kind of just like chill and sleepy to now I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? Like, don't sleep on connecting with others if that is part of your energy cup filling stuff. And I think as small business owners, solopreneurs that work from home or work for yourself, like, it's easy to fall into that. And sometimes it is needed. Like, there are definitely times where I'm like, I just need a full on Netflix day or whatever. Or sometimes it's like, okay, this is an active check all the boxes, do all these things day. And then sometimes you're just reminded, oh, I just needed to talk to some friends today.
Blue moon, been one or two since I ran into you. Felt like it's so. It's hard to take one when your iPhone's full.
I actually got a couple of orders this week, and it's funny because I haven't even been marketing them or promoting beanies at all, but there's a lady who came to the local shop that I sell my hats at when she was on vacation, ended up forgetting to buy it, went home, and actually ended up ordering from my website. So that was super exciting. But now I'm just finishing up my sweater, so maybe we can get it blocked. This week has just been so all over the place. Like, my brain is everywhere, my emotions have been everywhere, but sometimes it's just what happens. And that is one of the reasons why I am so grateful to be self-employed and a small business owner, because you can just do what you need to do that day, that week, whatever, and you can always start fresh. Every day is a fresh start too. So
yeah, like you would switch it out to a different one when you got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I am showered after that bike ride, but whew, I am beat. We did a 13-mile mountain bike ride, and it was super fun. I really needed that after my week. I felt like this week was so up and down and just all over the place. In some ways, I was very motivated and excited and just working through stuff and getting things checked off. And then in other ways, I was just like exhausted and just feeling a little bit untethered, I think, and not really settled back into my routine after my trip. Yesterday, I actually didn't film at all because I had my last chef gig. It was a smaller one and it was for a friend, so it wasn't like a big pressure event, but you know, it was still something. So I guess there was a lot of mixed emotions there. As if you've been watching the vlogs, you'll know that I have a side hustle business that I do in the summer months, and I decided after the summer that I would at least commit to taking 1 year completely off from doing the side hustle. So that was my last one. So I'm feeling a big sense of both relief and excitement, and also just kind of like, okay, it's done. And this week I sent a really, I don't know, I guess I just sent a heart-to-heart email to my list. And I also sent the video that I made on YouTube about those same things. The responses I got were just so lovely. Some of them brought me to tears, and it just made me feel so, I guess, supported by my community. Thank you for everyone who is here and who watches these videos, who's on my email newsletter, who has just interacted or engaged with any of my content, or if I've even met you in real life, awesome. But I don't know, I think there's just so much power in community and connection, and I think that's why I'm so looking forward to this next chapter in Smini. There's still a lot of work that I need to do to get ready for this season, but after this week, I feel like I can fully throw myself into it. So thank you for coming along on this really weird and wild week. Sharing all these feelings with you and my journey with running and building this business is just, I love it. And I'm just so grateful that you are here. So thank you so much for watching. I think I'm going to end the vlog here, but I will see you in the next video.